Pawn d2 to d4. Pawn d7 to d6. Pawn e2 to e4. Knight g8 to f6. Knight b1 to c3. Pawn g7 to g6. Pawn f2 to f4. Bishop f8 to g7. Knight g1 to f3. Pawn c7 to c5. Bishop f1 to b5, check. Bishop c8 to d7. Bishop c1 to d2. Pawn c5 takes d4. Knight f3 takes d4. Knight f6 takes e4. Bishop b5 takes d7, check. Knight b8 takes d7. Castle kingside. Bishop g7 takes d4, check. King g1 to h1. Bishop d4 takes c3. Pawn b2 takes c3. Pawn g6 to g5. Pawn f4 takes g5. Castle kingside. Rook a1 to b1. Pawn e7 to e6. Rook b1 takes b7. Knight d7 to c5. Queen d1 to e2. Knight e4 takes d2. Rook f1 takes f7. Rook f8 takes f7. Rook b7 takes f7. Queen d8 takes g5. Queen e2 to f2. Queen g5 to g6. Queen f2 takes d2. Knight c5 to e4. Queen d2 to f4. Pawn e6 to e5. Queen f4 to f5. Queen g6 takes f7. Queen f5 takes e4. Queen f7 to f1, checkmate.